What's going on, everybody? Zach back here with another special episode of Clutch Crew Sports. Today we're joined by a familiar guest, RM. RM, how's your night going, and are you excited for this podcast?
Yeah, my night's going very well, and I'm very excited on the podcast. I want to see what kind of picks are you guys going to make.
Yeah. So basically, for this episode, what we're going to be doing is sort of like an NBA all-time draft. So you can see on YouTube, there's a bunch of legends on the screen and many more. But the five of us are going to be drafting a 10-team legend team, basically. So we've already got the draft order determined and everything's all set up. So let's get this started.
I will also say there is I don't know if I mentioned this, but there's a 24-second shot clock on your pick. So, like, I'll try not to keep
It's not a. I'll interject a little bit.
I'm not going to enforce that too much, but
Connor made that rule. I'm not going to enforce it. If you go 30 seconds, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Just
take,
try not
2 minutes.
to take that long. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also what we're going to do is, since we're going to be hitting these picks like rapid fire, at the end of the draft, each person is going to talk about their team for a couple minutes just to go back over their team, just to remind everybody like their starting lineup and the reasons that they took those players. So we'll do that after the draft, but it's just going to be rapid fire, guys, of picks, and I got my fingers ready for the typing. So let's start this off. Eric, take us off with the first pick here.
Yeah, so I scouted with my war room for hours over this pick last night, trying to figure out what I was going to do. But we finally decided on Michael Jordan.
Whoa!
I know, that's a shocker. That's
amazing pick.
Hey, Reggie Miller picked him third in that NBA one, so
he was a hater.
I think it was more so Charles Barkley was incompetent.
Oh, wow.
All right, so I've got a lot of choices here at my number 2 pick, but I'm going to go LeBron James.
Ooh, okay. I'm actually quite glad you didn't take the guy that I wanted, because I was worried you were, because I know we have a history with not really possibly liking LeBron James, so I am going to go with my childhood hero, Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Nice.
Right.
All right, probably not too big of a surprise here, but I'm gonna go with Kareem.
Get the most All-Star appearances off the board.
Yep. All right, RM, you're on the clock.
Now, guys, I have a problem. I don't see the list on my phone.
Okay, I'll switch over to it. I was on the Do you see the share screen with the Skype call?
Let me see what this is. No, I don't. Do you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we
can still hear you.
I'm gonna try to go to Twitter. Hopefully the call doesn't lose, and I can pull it up there. But I already know what my pick is going to be. I'm going to go with Hakeem Olajuwon.
Ooh.
Hold on, wait, Connor, don't erase that. I'm just gonna copy and paste the spelling. I'm terrible at spelling.
You can't spell Olajuwon. There you go.
Yep.
That's interesting. I actually didn't see that one coming. I thought maybe it was gonna be somebody else.
I was really hoping he'd be on for my next pick. So he stole my next pick, man.
Well, I know who I want my next pick to be, but I hope he doesn't get taken before it gets to me.
Did the Twitter thing work for you?
I'm trying to pull it up now. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, the worst comes to worst, I can always just share the sheets with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of have a gut feeling, so you know what? I'm just going to do this blindly.
Okay.
So I get the next pick again, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, correct.
Wow. Let's go with Tim Duncan.
Interesting.
Big man heavy.
Best power forward of all time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
All right, Nate, it's your selection.
All right. I'm gonna have to go with Larry Bird here in the spot. Get a top tier forward to go with Kareem.
Let's see. I'm really struggling between two people right now for my next pick, but I think I'm going to go with Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
All right. I'm kind of surprised he's still here, so I'm going to go Magic Johnson.
You suck.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was deciding between.
Dude, I was surprised too. I was like, man, one more pick and I can take him.
You suck.
You don't want him on your team.
All right, Eric, you got back-to-back picks here.
Okay, so
Do you need me to go to the player pool?
Me? No,
Okay.
no. I've got it pulled up. I've got two people I'm also debating on, but I don't need both of them, so I got to figure out which one I want.
That's what it was for me.
You got back-to-back picks, so you can get both.
They're both the same position.
Oh,
so
okay.
it wouldn't be.
That's what I was saying. That was what it was for me. I'll tell you that. I was debating between two centers.
Okay. For my first pick, I'm going to go with Shaq.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was debating between. I was like, did I want Shaq or did I want Wilt Chamberlain? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it was tough to decide between Shaq and someone else, but I
think you need to put that a little higher up there, Zach.
Oh, shoot. I thought...
I could see why you thought that.
I'm like, man, Shaq's going to be on Eric's bench? Wow.
He's my 10th man, y'all. He's my 10th man. Okay, then for my next pick, I'm going to go... give me Kevin Garnett.
I'm glad you took him. Because I'm going to take Bill Russell.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the other one I was debating on with the Shaq pick.
Well, thankfully, I already have a center, so debating between... I think I was going to take John Stockton, but I think I'm going to go with Oscar Robertson instead.
Okay.
Right.
All-time triple-doubles leader.
All right. Nate's your pick.
Look back at... That was who I was waiting on there. I'm looking back at my
I stole
little
Nate's
list here.
Skype.
What do I want to get? Do I want to get a guard or want to go best?
Best available.
Yes. Usually what I go, but I think in this situation, I'm going to go with John Stockton here. Probably next best point guard I can think of. You got top two off the board already, I think. Better get mine before they all start going.
All right. RM, you're on the clock.
I'm going to take Kevin Durant.
Ooh.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
I thought he would fall back to me. I did not expect him to go there. I got it.
Really, Eric? You take your trader?
Hey, it's not about allegiances at this point.
It's a tough one. This is a tough one.
I know. There's so many good players.
Yeah. And I'm trying to go by position just to fill out this starting five. So I'll take D Wade.
Dwayne Wade there. All right, Nate's back to you.
Ooh, yeah.
Please don't take my guy.
We gotta look a little bit more to
take his guy, Nate. Take his guy. I don't know.
All these guys are off the list. I'm gonna have to go. Oh, shoot, he's a center. I already got a center. Might have to go with the mailman here, Karl Malone.
Oh no! Okay.
Suck.
Round out my forward unit.
I was staring him down. I was like, that's going to be my power forward right there. Well, I guess if I can't have Karl Malone at power forward, I'll have to go with the next best, and that's Dirk Nowitzki.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I believe it's my pick now. Yep. So it's tough here. I'm going to go Jerry West.
Ooh.
Oh, Jerry West.
Oops. I'm on the wrong screen.
Mr. Basketball.
Yep.
Yes,
the logo.
Yep.
Oh shoot! I think I just closed the whole thing. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
The Skype call's still going, but I just closed the spreadsheet. I'm gonna go back.
I got you.
Okay. Yeah, that's Connor with the assist. All right. So I think it's Eric's pick next. Eric, you can tell us who you're gonna pick.
Yeah. So I've got back-to-back picks here. Okay, I'm going to go with Charles Barkley here.
Darn it!
That's a good pick.
All right.
Still got someone else that I want though, so I hope that Zach's not going to take him.
Well, I probably will.
Probably. Seeing what happened with Nate.
I'm gonna take Dr. J.
Hold on.
Oh.
Will,
slow down.
Sorry.
No, I know you're doing a lot.
It seemed like it was gonna be my pick.
No, I definitely understand that. I'm going to go Steph Curry.
Oh, very nice. I'm gonna find him now.
Yeah.
Curry and Jordan on the same team. All right. Well, spoiler alert here. Dr. J is going to be my pick.
Well, thankfully, Zach did not take the person I wanted. Because for my small forward, he's a bit of a smaller small forward, but he's very good. He's a legend. I'm going to go with Elgin Baylor.
Yeah, good pick.
Can't go wrong with any of these picks. We're all just complimenting each other.
Yeah.
Your pick sucks.
Michael Jordan, what a trash pick.
All right. Nate on the clock.
All right. I'm gonna follow in Eric's steps and round out my starting five with a shooter here and go Ray Allen.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think I need a.
Is he still the all-time three-point leader, or is Steph Curry beating him yet?
I honestly
he
don't
might
know.
Be close. Yeah.
That's a
all right.
Question there.
That is a sports question.
I have to look that up afterwards.
All right, RM.
I need a point guard, so I'm going to go with Jason Kidd.
Kidd.
Kind of a sleeper pick there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was him.
I don't know why I forgot about him. Yeah, he was really good.
So I got to go ahead and scoop up my favorite player of all time. I'm not going to leave him on the board, so I'm going to get T-Mac.
Tracy McGrady, very nice. Gotta find him too. There he is. I remember watching him as a kid too.
Yeah.
All right, Nate.
All right, now that we're getting into backups here and some depth, I think I'm gonna go with a little bit of a wild card here, but I'm gonna go with Allen Iverson.
He was the first pick in the TNT draft by Charles Barkley.
The 27th pick in this draft. Yeah, 27.
All right. Well, like Nate said, since we're getting to bench players, debating between two people right now. I think I am going to go with Patrick Ewing.
All right.
Nice.
All right. I've got choices here. Let me take a look at the board, see who's still left. All right. I'm gonna go Isaiah Thomas.
Not the current one, but the
yeah.
Seeing some of these Celtics players on here that Kevin McHale was like super high on when he was picking.
Yeah. All right, Eric.
Okay,
back-to-back picks.
Dang. This is like a rough position because I've got 4 people I've got my eye on, so I don't know which 2 I should pick in hopes that the other 2 will make it back to my next pick. This is tough.
Don't pick my guy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. For my first pick, I'm going to go with David Robinson.
Okay. The Admiral, very nice.
Write that down. Okay. Then for my next pick, I'm going to go with Gary Payton.
All right. Love.
Yep. Didn't pick my guy, so I'm happy about that. Just gotta hope Zach doesn't pick my guy now.
Maybe this will be the time I do.
Yeah. You did. You did last time, so.
All right, I'm gonna go Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, nice.
Where is he? Why do I not know where he is on this list? Oh, there he is. All right. Well, I'm going to be the first brave soul to duck into the wild cards category over here. And I am going to take Kawhi Leonard.
I was just thinking about, is it time to reach in with the next pick?
He was one of the 4 I was looking at.
Connor made a lot of people mad there with that pick.
Yeah, that was a good pick, apparently.
All right, Nate.
All right, so that definitely cleared up a decision for me there. So I'm gonna go with, let me just take a quick look who's still left. I'm gonna have to go with Celtics legend here, John Havlicek.
There we go.
Don't erase that yet.
All right. Oh, sorry. Havlicek.
I got it.
Okay.
Yep.
You did that. I saw you undid that.
All right. RM, back to you.
Let's see. I'm going to follow in the footsteps and go to the ones with some of the least All-Star appearances and go with Giannis.
Darn.
Ooh.
And that sucks for me.
Yeah, it sucked when he got Kawhi. I had my eye on Kawhi.
Yeah, I would have wanted Kawhi too.
I wanted Giannis too, but I was like, no, I got to get Kawhi first.
Yeah. And I will go with, oh, wow, there's so many.
I'm surprised you decided to put Antetokounmpo instead of Giannis.
Yeah, my last names here.
Wow, this is tough.
It gets tough when you get to the stage. It's like there's so many good players.
I think I'm going to go with. James Harden.
James Harden.
Mm.
I know
something your former co-host would never.
Yeah,
have
he
done.
loved a big.
Yeah, his favorite.
He loved him some James Harden.
We gotta tell Aaron about this now. I want to hear his reaction to that.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. I think Nate's your pick now.
Okay, so since we're kind of going into wild card territory here, might kind of move away from my face. We're going into wild card territory here. I'm gonna go with Dennis Rodman.
Wow.
A little bit of a
Rodman.
Big pick.
Eat a little kind of
Well, you got some defense
utility
there.
guy. Yeah,
And some defense and some personality.
that's for sure.
Where is he on this? He's
I
somewhere.
don't think
here.
he's on here.
I don't think he's on the list.
Yeah, he
but
might not be. Yeah. I do like that pick still, though.
All right.
All right, my turn. I think. Let's see. So I got another center. I got another forward. I think I'm going to go with Steve Nash here.
All right.
Eric was not happy about that either.
No, I was not.
All right. I'm gonna go Moses Malone here.
Wow.
Get my backup
Took a while
center.
for him. I'm surprised he was on the list this long.
Yeah.
For him to be your backup center, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we can look at some of your backups too, Eric, and think that's pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for this late. And
True.
Yeah,
Moses
I think he
Malone
fell
into,
that
like,
far.
8th round. Pretty awesome. Okay, so my last 2 picks, a lot of the people that I was wanting to take are gone now, so okay, I'm going to go with Clyde Drexler.
Okay. I kind of wanted him, but oh well.
And I'm not sure. These aren't my last 2 picks. I got one more after this. Okay. I totally miscounted on my list that I wrote down there. Okay. For my next pick, so this might definitely be kind of a wild card here, but I am going to go with Pistol Pete.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the guy who didn't get picked when they did this on TNT, and Ernie Johnson was not very happy about it. Pete Maravich.
All right. I'm gonna go for a good shooter here. I'm gonna go Klay Thompson.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, let's see. I need another power forward, maybe one that's a little more defensive minded. I think I was gonna pick Chris Bosh, but I think instead I'm gonna take Anthony Davis.
Golly, man. Oh, gosh.
I think if there was an award for stealing picks, I'd get it right now.
Oh, wow.
All right, Nate.
Great pick.
All right, with this...
Somebody's ready to tear my head off. I can tell.
So I got 2 picks left. This one I'm going to go... I'm going to take the truth here. Paul Pierce.
All right. Celtics
great
fan.
shooter.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, there's still another very good Celtics player on there somewhere. There's a couple, actually.
There's a couple.
All right, RM, here are your last 2 picks.
I'm certain in one. Scottie Pippen, I'm going to pick him up.
Oh, boy.
Surprised he fell this late, too.
Yeah. This last one is going to be tough. I'm probably going to exhaust the whole 24 seconds on this one.
Okay.
I'm not counting. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
24, 23.
Right center. You know what? There's okay. Let me look at this last list. I was looking at the.
Wow. Was he?
I'm just going to go with Dikembe Mutombo.
Ooh.
Yeah. Need some defense.
Very interesting. Yeah, he's definitely a very good defensive player.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, who's going to be your last pick here?
For my last pick, I'm just going to check my lineup here, see what I need. I think I'm going to go, I'm going to backup center and go Dwight Howard here.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
Man. Especially in his prime, he was really good.
Hopefully it's Magic Dwight Howard that shows up.
Yeah.
Not Houston Rockets Dwight Howard.
Yeah, not him.
This is a tough last pick. Because I know I haven't taken a shooting guard since I took Kobe. So, but a lot of the good ones have been taken. But I guess if I'm going to close out the list, I got to go with one of my favorite players in the league right now, and a UNC alum, Vince Carter.
Oh, Vince.
Yeah.
Vince Carter there, and let me take a look at the board here, who I'm going to be taking.
There's a lot of good names still out there.
Yeah, there is, man. You don't realize how long this list is.
Kyle Lowry. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, you told me in the group chat last night that you were contemplating picking him with your first picks, and you still haven't picked him yet. So,
well, yeah, you gotta take the milk carton, man.
I really don't want Melo.
I thought you were gonna say I really don't want Kyle Lowry.
I'm gonna go Kevin McHale.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Eric, close out the draft.
All right, for my last pick, I need another forward. I'm gonna get me a versatile wing defender, and give me James Worthy.
James Worthy, very nice. 90s, the Lakers would not have been the same in the 80s without him.
Yep. All right, guys. So that wraps up. Oh my gosh, I almost just clicked out the whole thing again. That wraps up the draft portion of this episode. But like I said before, we're gonna review that because I know that nobody remembers all those picks. So, Eric, since you picked first, I'll let you go through your starting lineup and talk about your team and how much you like them.
All right. So for my starting lineup at point guard, I've got Steph Curry. I actually really wasn't intending to pick him with the strategy that I had for my team, but I felt like he fell pretty far and I was getting a good value for him, so I scooped him up. Since I was fortunate enough to get the first pick, I got the GOAT, Michael Jordan, my 2 guard, so I'm obviously very happy to have him.
Explain your thought process in one. Yeah. Michael Jordan.
Well, I thought, he's pretty good, and he'll be good for my team. Like I said, I scouted with my war room for hours last night on that one. But so then at forwards, I've got Charles Barkley and Kevin Garnett, and my starting center is Shaq. I'm pretty excited about the starting 5. Steph Curry and KG weren't people I was necessarily planning to get, but when the order came around, certain people I wanted might have been gone, or I was kind of shocked they were still there. So I had to make some adjustments. But overall, like, this wasn't the starting 5 I necessarily thought I would have, but at the same time, I'm pretty cool with it. And then on my bench, for guards, I've got Gary Payton, Clyde Drexler, and Pistol Pete. And then my forward is James Worthy, and my backup center is David Robinson. So my overall strategy with this team was to get the best two-way players possible, players that can lock you down on defense but are also really efficient scorers. That was my strategy going into it. So that's why Steph Curry wasn't necessarily my original plan, since he's kind of suspect with his defense, but I'll take his 3-point shooting any day. So I guess I don't know if I have the best team on this list, but I do feel like it's pretty good. My biggest mistake, I don't know if it would have worked out differently, but in my 2 spots where I picked David Robinson and Gary Payton, since who was I looking at there? I was looking at Kawhi Leonard for sure, and there was someone else in that same. It's Kawhi and Giannis, I think. I was looking at both of them, but I thought since they were kind of farther down on the list that had been pre-made. I thought maybe they would fall to me through one more set of rounds, but they didn't. So if I had taken Kawhi and Giannis, I don't know if I could have got them and then still been able to get both David Robinson and Gary Payton. But I feel like if I had picked Kawhi and Giannis instead, if I could have got David Robinson and Gary Payton later, then I would easily have the best team. But I made a mistake there. So I don't, we'll see.
I mean, I could tell by how frustrated you were when I called out Kawhi's name.
I thought Giannis might go because of him having the more recent MVPs, but I didn't think Kawhi would go. So then when Connor took him like 2 picks later, I was like, oh, crap, I was not expecting that. But yeah, I like my team overall. I feel pretty solid about it. I guess if I was grading it, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. So, okay. Zach, how do you feel about your team?
Yeah, so I went with LeBron James with my second overall pick. I really think prime LeBron is probably the second best player of all time, and also it helps that he's pretty tall in his height. So him against Jordan, it would be the matchup everyone would want to see. I'd still have my money on Jordan, but LeBron's going to be the leader of this team for sure. And Magic Johnson falling to me in the second round, I didn't see coming. I was going to take Shaq if Johnson wasn't there, but to round out my team, my starting lineup, I got Jerry West, Dr. J, and Bill Russell. So I've got a really unselfish team with a lot of the assists, the guys known for assists with Magic Johnson and Jerry West and LeBron. So I've got really great passers on my team. And then I took Klay Thompson down there because I really wanted an elite three-point shooter on my team. So he's on the bench, but he's an elite three-point shooter. And Moses Malone, too, as a backup center was another spot in the draft that I think I did really well. And Isaiah Thomas as well as my backup point guard. I'm pretty happy with this team, and we like to share the wealth, so we're going to be getting a lot of assists.
Is that going to be your team name?
Yeah, share the wealth.
All right. Yeah, I mean, with my team, I wanted to take Kobe. I was really hoping that Zach wasn't going to take him, which he didn't, just because, Kobe is almost a mirror image of Jordan when it comes to, he's a great scorer. He's a fantastic defender. I mean, he's a fantastic all-around player. He may not be the best passer in the world, but, I mean, I think I can get past that when he's, scoring 50, 60 points a game and all that, and also, not allowing points either. So, and I definitely wanted to go with Oscar Robertson just because I wanted a point guard that could get assists, but then when I thought about it, I was like, well, also, he's unlike the triple doubles of today that everybody gets, like LeBron James and Russell Westbrook tend to get. I feel like Oscar Robertson really earned those rebounds that he got. They weren't just kind of cheap rebounds. So I was, really wanted that on my team. A lot of guys that can rebound. And I think I mainly had to cover. If I had to pick my weakest position, it'd probably be power forward. Nowitzki was not the one I wanted. He's obviously a strong offensive threat, but he's a little bit weaker on the defensive side. So it's kind of why I was really happy with getting Patrick Ewing and Anthony Davis, because they're both really good defenders. And I know I've got Elgin Baylor as my small forward, but actually when it comes to my starting lineup, I'd probably actually put Kawhi in there, just because he's a bit taller. I think he'd be a great defender to guard LeBron James and Kevin Durant. So I mainly picked Elgin Baylor because obviously he's really good, but I also picked him a lot earlier because I feel like he would have been gone a lot quicker. So Kawhi Leonard will actually be my starting small forward instead of Elgin Baylor, but I can't complain with Elgin Baylor coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And then I think I was really debating between Chamberlain and Shaq with that second pick, but I mean, Wilt Chamberlain he's done it all. I mean, if you just look at some of his stats that he put up during his time in the league, they're just ridiculous. I mean, not just scoring, but rebounding and all that other stuff. So, Wilt Chamberlain for sure. I know Shaq's got more All-Star appearances, but I think Wilt Chamberlain's the better player in my opinion. And then I was really happy with I was surprised with, I've got the last thing I wanted on my team was a lot of good three-point shooting. So, I mean, I've got Kobe, I've got Dirk, I've got Steve Nash, and Kawhi is also pretty good at shooting threes, and even Anthony Davis can get out there and shoot threes if he needs to. So I'm pretty happy with my team. I know Eric said he thinks his was 8 out of 10. I think mine might be at least 9 out of 10, possibly the best one.
All right, Nate, tell us about your team.
Yeah, so basically, like, I wanted, so started out with Stockton as my point guard. I was hoping for Oscar Robertson here, like I said, but I was a pick too late there. My other guard is gonna be Ray Allen. We didn't end up deciding who had the most threes, whether it's him or Steph, but either way, he's got to be a top two pure three-point shooter of all time. So that's definitely a great asset to have on a team like this, especially when he has like definitely a role he can carve out. There's in this hypothetical situation, there's so many talented players that he doesn't have to do too much. He can just sit there and knock down the threes, would be a nice benefit to have. Then for my forwards, I grabbed one of the most, I think, like skilled offensive forwards of all time, in Larry Bird. Obviously, great player there. And then Karl Malone, another guy who's dominated in his prime, and he's got the natural real life relationship with Stockton there. So I think that would be a plus.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that is a really good pairing right there.
Yeah, not why I picked him. I didn't think about it till after, but definitely a plus there. And then for my center, my first pick overall was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Again, probably the best center, for sure in the top three there. So definitely a pick I was excited about to get in the first round. And then for my bench players, I kind of went for some value here, kind of for some like wild card, like role player kind of six men type people. Picked Allen Iverson just because great point guard and be a good guy to lead a second unit, who obviously in this draft, all of our second units would be an all-star team in the real NBA, but some guys who quote-unquote are less talented than the starters still, he could definitely come in and lead that unit and still put up points. Then we got Havlicek, another great, obviously, 10-time all-star in real life. I think maybe more than that. I don't remember what was on the list now, but
something like that.
Yeah, great value there. Dennis Rodman was kind of my X Factor player. I didn't go with the current.
Yeah,
I didn't go with the current guys at my X Factor. Obviously only 2 All-Star appearances, but he averaged more than 15 rebounds per game. Was his worst season during his prime with the Bulls and the last couple years with the Pistons. So it's like I always had to have that kind of value on my team. He's a guy who could potentially, if we were playing this like a real season, he could come in and start certain games, go get rebounds. But definitely a great guy to have around. And then Paul Pierce and Dwight Howard, definitely in their primes. Pierce is one of the best scorers in the league while he played. And then Dwight Howard, specifically focusing on his prime, like we talked about. Definitely one of the in his prime years in Orlando, he was one of the best defensive players in the league. Almost the MVP candidate a couple of those years, and even now on the Lakers, he's kind of settled in as a good role player, so he can has the ability to play that role as well coming off the bench. So I feel pretty good about my lineup. Don't have a top tier guy like LeBron or Jordan, I feel like, but definitely could come in and do some damage, I think.
For sure. RM, tell us about your team.
I started out with Hakeem Olajuwon. I was thinking about Shaq, but I think Hakeem Olajuwon. Shaq's liability is the free throw line.
Yeah.
And Hakeem Olajuwon can extend out a little further with his shot. So, and he plays great defense. So I also had the idea that I wanted two-way players, and he's the only player that I can think of that's won Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and the Finals MVP all in the same year. If there's somebody else, I don't know who it is.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Probably not.
Jordan,
unless MJ did it one time, but I know Kobe didn't do it.
Yeah. I wanted to go with Tim Duncan because I'm from the old school where we play inside out. So Tim Duncan, he can do the same things. Back to the basket, gives you great defense. Kevin Durant was a no-brainer for me because he can do it all. He can shoot anywhere on the court. I was on the fence between Chris Paul and Jason Kidd. I didn't know which one to pick. but I think Jason Kidd's a little taller. Chris Paul might play a little bit better on the ball defense, but Jason Kidd is obviously a better rebounder. So and he really doesn't have to score. He can just pass and get rebounds. D Wade and T Mac, that was like a toss up. I know D Wade's had a better career, but I might put T Mac in the starting lineup because D Wade really can't shoot the three ball, and T Mac can. And then Giannis, I was surprised he even fell. Whoever took Anthony Davis blew my whole world up.
That was me.
Yeah, it exploded my whole world. I was like, no one's picking Anthony Davis. Are you serious? And then when I heard his name, it crushed me. So
that was definitely.
I was upset about that.
I felt good about some of my steals, but that one was definitely the one that got the biggest reaction.
Yeah, that was a good one. Kawhi was a good one too. Scottie Pippen, I was surprised he stayed as late as he did. So I was great about that. The only downside to my roster is I don't have a backup point guard, but I do have the point forward in Scottie Pippen. He can handle the ball. D Wade and T Mac can kind of handle it. But I would give mine maybe a 8 to 9 out of 10.
Well, I will say the one thing I think your team probably has more than anything is, at least in your starting lineup, the fact that, like, obviously Olajuwon's like the center and Duncan's the power forward, but like you could swap those two. Like Olajuwon can play power forward if he needs to. Like if you want to play him with like Mutombo at center, I think that's a really good asset.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're obviously going to be doing the Twitter polls in a couple of days after this, and our next episode we'll see how they went. But between the 5 of us here, guys, I want each of us to pick who we think the best team is other than our team. Everybody would just pick their team. So you can't pick your team, but out of everybody else's team, they're on the screen here so everybody can read them and stuff. But Eric, start us off. Other than you, who would you go with?
So looking at these other teams, I'm leaning towards Zach's team is the best team. I mean, I would honestly even be willing to say it over my team. I mean, obviously I love my team, but but I mean, obviously LeBron is a beast, and I think the biggest thing that you got was with where like the picks fell to you with like the second and third round. I feel like for your team getting Magic Johnson at the late of the second round, or the late second round, and then Bill Russell early in the third round. I feel like that is just a really just beast combo of 3 players overall to have on a team.
I don't know what I just did.
It's okay.
I'm trying to see the list and I can't find it. So
I thought you like left the calls, and I was like, no.
no.
So if I'm going like top heavy talent, I would say Zach's team. If I like overall depth, I do really like RM's team though. But if I had to pick like which of these teams I think would win, I would say Zach's team.
All right, thanks, man. I'm gonna go Eric's team. We didn't collude before this started, because I really think Eric's got arguably the best starting lineup. I know he just talked about my big, quote unquote, big 3, but with Jordan and Curry and Shaq, I mean, those are 3 players that I was targeting. Like, I would have picked Jordan first overall if I had that chance. I wanted to pick him eventually. So you've got everything, and then you've also got Garnett and Barkley thrown in there too as your quote unquote worst starters. Like, or maybe Curry would be in that discussion, but the only real weakness I think is your depth with your 6 through 10. Kind of small, but overall, I would have to go with your team. But it's close between Connor's depth really made this tough for me, but I'm going to go Eric's team.
Yeah, so I was considering Eric's team, but I think, like you said, I think his depth is a little not as good for me. So the this is definitely a tough one between Zach and RM, in my opinion. Because the thing about RM is that he mentioned he doesn't have a point guard, but James Harden could easily play point guard if you need him to. And like I said, I like the utility of some of the players on RM's team. But Zach, I mean, with like Magic and Russell and LeBron, that's really good. I think Zach's biggest weakness is probably going to be, I mean, obviously you have Klay Thompson on the bench, but at least in your starting lineup, I think 3-point shooting is going to be a little bit of an issue because besides Jerry West, I don't think anybody could really do it too efficiently. So I think I'm going to go with RM, but it's very close between Zach and RM. Zach would be second on my list.
All right, Nate, who would you vote for?
Yeah, this is, like you guys said, it's a pretty tough one. I'm between Team Eric and Team RM. Like what Connor said, I think Eric's got the better starting lineup, but RM definitely has a good starting lineup plus a lot more depth. I feel like that's tricky for me. I think I'm gonna have to narrowly go Team Eric just because I think we've got a guy like MJ to run your team. It's not gonna get too much better than that. Plus you give him Shaq as his center, and he's got Curry there to knock down shots. So I think in the hypothetical, like I think talent-wise, I think Team RM, I would go like got more talent like across the board. But I think if we were going like head-to-head, hypothetically, I think Team Eric would be the best one.
So which one?
Oh yeah, sorry. So Team Eric. That's,
okay.
My deciding factor was the head-to-head. So.
All right.
There's a narrow win there for me.
All right, RM, who are you gonna vote for?
I can't see the list, but
okay.
Team Eric. If you got Jordan and Shaq, and I think I heard Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Who's the other starting five? The other two in the starting
five? So we have Eric is Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett, and Shaq. Zach is Magic Johnson, Jerry West, LeBron, Julius Erving, and Bill Russell. My team is Oscar Robertson, Kobe Bryant, Kawhi Leonard, Dirk Nowitzki, and Wilt Chamberlain. And then Nate has John Stockton, Ray Allen, Larry Bird, Karl Malone, and Kareem.
Yeah, I'll go with Eric. I mean, he's got Shaq, Barkley, and Jordan and Steph. I mean, that's an incredible starting five. So I'll give it to him.
Okay. All right. So out of our group, the winner goes to Eric. Helped having that first pick.
Yeah, that was. I will admit that was a really nice advantage. When I saw that I got the first pick, when they sent me the draft order last night, I was pretty excited about that. So
yeah, but there you go, guys. Let us know who you think the best team is between the five of us. We'll be putting polls up, so vote and comment why you think a certain team would win in these matchups. Obviously, they're all very good, but yeah, there you go, guys. RM, thank you for being a part of this, man. It was good to catch up with you again and talk some basketball.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Hopefully, if you guys do accept my idea, you'll have me on for that one too.
For sure, man.
Totally.
We would. I don't know what the idea is yet, but yeah, man, we'll try and work out a date.
We got our suspense just built to the max here.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you guys. Absolutely.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Great stuff, guys. That's gonna wrap this up. And remember, be clutch.
Bye.
Right, peace.
See ya.
Peace.